Hello everyone and welcome to Monster Hour, an actual play podcast about going to school, arguing with your parents, and ruining your favorite outfit while hunting horrible monsters. Narrative driven and crisply edited with painfully relatable characters. Monster Hour follows unlikely heroes JR,
super suspicious. That's sort of my deal.
Constance,
I may be a bit of a know-it-all, but I might actually know it all.
and Alvin,
I'm monstrous.
as they unravel the sinister mysteries of a strange Colorado town. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, Buffy, or The Adventure Zone Amnesty, you'll love Monster Hour. Tune in for new episodes every other Tuesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role-players, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt Boothman, I have been your compere for this Main House Vigil production, and I'm joined backstage for this post-show discussion by the cast of that production.
Hey, my name's Josh. I'm playing Ginny Greenteeth, the spell slinger.
Hello, I'm Ellie, and I am playing Percy Byron, the exile.
Hi, I'm Nat, and I'm playing Gwynned the Divine.
Hello, my name's Alexander Pankhurst, and I'm here playing Graham the Summoned.
Let's jump straight to the post-session admin, because I know you're all excited to get some XP.
Admin.
Oh, yeah.
Admin.
I was not expecting that.
I mean, I thought you would get excited because it's like a reward for the role-playing that you did and the accomplishments, but no, we just love ticking boxes.
Tick those
here.
boxes.
Yeah.
Fill them up. Let's do this.
All right, let's ask some questions.
Tell multiple lies.
Did we conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
Yep, I believe we did. That's one yes. Don't tick an XP yet. We do that after all the questions.
Hold your horses.
It's been a while since all of us did this.
We're overly stimulated and excited. We just want to...
I've had a biscuit and a coffee.
Did we save anybody from certain death or worse?
Yes.
Did we? Who? Toby.
And most of the town when the Barghest was by the duck pond?
The guy that the Barghest took over, if we'd have killed it, it would have killed him.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, does it count if we're saving them from ourselves?
I mean, it doesn't say from certain death or worse at anybody else's hands. And,
I mean,
Does that mean that Graham can start throttling people and then let go at the last minute? Saved you.
I mean, that would rather prove Gwyn right.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
which could be a great character.
Who knows?
You know.
I'm not sure I want to listen to an episode where you just describe strangling random members of the public, then moving on. They want more XP, XP farmer.
Just calling myself Christarchy. Christarchy.
So, yes, there were, it would probably have escalated to killing people and you stopped it from doing that. But yes, the most immediate one was there was one security guard who was possessed by the Barghest, who was possessed when Graham smacked it with a bench, got his head caved in, who would have died on the green had Gwyn not laid on hands. So, yes, you saved that person from certain death or worse. That's 2 yeses.
Ding ding.
Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Multiple things.
This is one of the most lore-heavy sessions I've been involved in or listened to. So many new characters, so many new locations, organisations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More bigger, higher up plates that we didn't realise were spinning that are spinning.
Yeah, do we want to throw out some examples of important stuff that we've learned about the world?
The big wizard people that have got all their fingers in all of the pies.
Yeah, the Sorcery Guild.
Yes.
Thank you. Big wizard people. You knew who I was.
Hello.
Big farmer, big wizard.
Yeah,
They've got...
It's a guy with a pitchfork. No, that's PH.
I went straight to thinking they've all got big wizard energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, yes, the Sorcery Guild are... We knew from the coming up with backstory before the story session, which you'll have heard in a backstage episode, that there were some members of the Guild of Sorcery active in Sherrydown, the mayor, for example, but we now know that some of the more national, high-up, powerful members, like Max Dashwood, have some sort of interest in town as well, and particular vendettas against certain members of the cast.
Screw you, Malcolm.
But also they're subsidiary companies as well that are now taken over.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Which have council contracts. I wonder if the mayor could have been involved in those.
Jackie.
Jackie Beaver! Jackie Beaver! I can't remember what her real name is because...
Jackie Dambrook.
Thank you.
It's because her real name's Jackie Beaver.
Yeah, and that was too silly.
Changed it by deed poll. If we find her original birth certificate, maybe.
Yeah, it'll say Jackie Beaver.
So that's 3 yeses. Finally, did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Yeah.
Learn your name.
Learn my name.
Learn Graham's special name.
The Forgetful.
We learned that Ginny can now teleport.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, be exactly where she needs to be at the right time.
I mean, we know that we learnt that the Grove of Oddities is under threat of being purchased from underneath Ginny, which I can tell from Josh's expression she was delighted about.
Oh,
At the time, absolutely
Josh's
furious.
face, you were fuming.
Just for context, listeners, we sit at the end of a 6-hour session. We're all sitting inside. It was quite muggy when we recorded 2 weeks ago, and then Matt drops that on me as literally the last thing, just to really light the fire under me.
I mean,
furious.
Livid, genuinely livid. It was glorious to watch.
You could not separate Ginny from Josh.
Oh my goodness! I was so upset, so possessive over a fictional building.
I think the rest of us were invested as well. I can't remember. I think I gasped.
Oh yeah,
Audibly, I know.
I mean, it's very much the bad guy wants to buy the Muppets theatre.
Yes. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
And it is very much a Muppet theatre.
That level of operation.
God, it's not even that good.
Well, with 4 yeses, everybody please mark 2 experience.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
So after that, who's getting an advance this session?
Me, I'm getting an advance. Ginny's getting an advance.
Yes, also me, Percy. Percy gets one.
Graham also gets an advance.
Excellent.
I levelled up mid-game,
Great.
so now I am 1 away from levelling up again. So I'm in the same position as I was at the end of the last one.
Lovely.
What did you take? I can't remember.
Okay, so this is one that I'm like... I took Boss from Beyond, which is that at the start of the next game, I get to ask the Morrigan some questions about what's going to happen, but it's a dice roll, and she might ask me to do something terrible in exchange.
She always does.
Sounds delightful.
What is it, a dice roll plus, out of interest?
Plus weird, which
Well, you are
I
pretty
have
weird,
a
right?
+1
Okay.
to weird. But she does ask me to do something. I have to do something in exchange, but it could be simple, or it could be complicated, or it could be terrible. And if I don't do it, then I can't use that move again until I've made up for my failures.
Gut reaction. Do you think it's going to be simple or do you think it's going to be overly complex? Knowing the Morrigan and knowing Matt as the game master.
Always over the complex.
Yay! That's cool. I like that.
Anybody else who has advanced this session, I'm not going to put you on the spot if you want to take time to think about it, but does anybody know immediately what improvement they want?
I do. I took a move from another playbook previously, so now I'm just going to go straight for a stat increase. This time I'm going to mark get +1 weird to a maximum of +3. So Ginny is now +3 weird. Because everything I do is based around weird. The big magic, the combat magic, the divination, everything is weird. So
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So you're going to be failing even less in future sessions.
absolutely shooting myself in the foot. I think it makes sense thematically. You know, she's got mad now, and so she's following the conversation with Max. She's now getting more and more. I think she's going to dive into the witch fae side of her being and get stranger and stranger in order to fight against capitalism.
Exciting.
The real monster.
Yeah, the real monster in all this.
Alex, Ellie, do you want to hold off, or do you know what you want?
Yeah, I'm going to take a move from another playbook, so I need to do some research.
Great,
Fun.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of homework. I mean, it's admin, so
Yeah, I'm thrilled.
Because I am completely indecisive. I'm now looking at all of the words and going, so yeah, I'm going to come back to you on that one and let you know what I choose.
Tune in next time Ellie and Percy or Alex and Graham are on a season of Vigil to find out what they took. So, having done that bit of admin, what is everybody's reactions from that season? Anything that particularly stood out as a cool thing that you enjoyed? Any lingering questions that anybody has for each other or for me?
That my favourite thing that I did, because I really love camaraderie, was riding in on the bikes with the WI ladies.
Such a lovely moment.
That was one of my stars.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I can really clearly visualise it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of cresting over a little hill, dinging bells.
In the dark, little sort of gas lamp style lights on the front, just through the darkness, through the mist.
Yeah, baskets on every handlebar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Assemble, ladies! Hiya!
I feel like I have seen something very similar in a film, and I'm kicking myself trying to remember what that is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I can picture it so clearly as well.
Yeah, I just really love it as a detail of like a thing that Percy is doing in her non-monster hunting time as well, like teaching the WI to do suffragette is just a brilliant character detail that I love.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the details that you added to the Bargas map. The fact that it was made up of security guard paraphernalia or the truck paraphernalia, like all these bits on it, was pleasing. It wasn't just spectral ghosty dog.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted it to have, to take some aspects from the stuff it was possessing and the stuff that had kind of called it into the realm. So that sort of seemed to make sense. And I quite like that we managed to get in the way that you dealt with it meant that we could show it kind of becoming a bit more traditional Fae spirit at the end as well.
A good boy.
I liked how you sort of got us on the bait and switch, because you said someone on all fours running around barking, and so we were all like, guys, there's a lycanthrope, it's a werewolf, we've got this, absolutely fine, thanks man, thanks for your time, we'll deal with it from now. We need to find some silver, we need to go on during a full moon. And I could see, looking back on your little eyes, just sort of narrowing and chuckling inside at our foolishness. So I like the fact that it got halfway through and we're like, oh, okay, it's not what we thought, or certainly not what I thought.
I hope that, obviously it was a deliberate mislead and a deliberate red herring, but what I hope is that as soon as you started investigating further than just seeing the video, that the clues would start to be there, that it wasn't that, that the tracks were bigger than the person that you saw on the video, and signs pointing to it not being that, to just give you that little extra pause.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? You present a mystery, you give us a few little tidbits of evidence around the place, and then it's up to us to roll and to improvise and to find out a way to, break that mystery, work out what's going on. And so I liked that you sort of left a little tidbit here. Do you want to investigate that? Go and have a look. It's not what you think. Now go over there. It's not what you think. That's the great thing about this game. It's not just run in and smack. In this case, it's run in, investigate, banish, smack, and make good boy.
I feel like this was, of all the ones that we've done, this one probably had the most different avenues you could have investigated.
Yeah.
So, you had, just from that video, you had the location, which is what you did go and investigate first. You had, the uniform that could have pointed you to that security firm. You had the hoarding that you saw in the video, could have sent you to that company. The kids in the video that you could have tracked down to try to talk to them. What it does mean is that there's lots of kind of avenues and potential NPCs and locations and things like that we didn't see. But I like that. I like that I was able to give you the choice, and because I think role-playing games are all about seeing the players in character making meaningful choices that have a real effect on the way the story goes. So I think having those branches and seeing which ones you chose to adopt, especially as I think it was a very in-character set of choices of things to investigate, because as I think we discussed in some of the backstage stuff, you're a very magic heavy, not very au fait with the modern world set of characters. And so the fact that you went to investigate the wilderness and look at the tracks rather than like, let's go and talk to a company representative.
You talk to them.
Yeah, is very, indicative of what these characters are like.
It was nice. I never felt at any point railroaded. I never felt like they reached a point where we had hit like a dead end and Matt had to be like, oh, well, how about this person over here want to speak? Or how about you go down this little corridor here and go and investigate this thing instead?
At points I felt like it was almost the opposite. Like we have 800 different avenues we could explore right now. We need to narrow it down.
That's the balance to try and get as well. Because I know we've had in previous seasons, going all the way back to the Blackshore Saga stuff, we have had issues with decision paralysis at certain times.
For sure.
Which we don't want when we're trying to do, as we do, the whole season in one recording session. We don't want to be stuck on decisions for too long.
Sure.
So it's a balance of giving you stuff to investigate, but like clear reasons to go down one route rather than another.
Yeah, and also with all the investigative options, making sure that, I guess, all of the obvious ones at least have something fruitful there. Because I think definitely in past seasons, I've definitely been like, no, this is a trick. We should go and investigate this thing, which seems less obvious, and we'll go and do that. And you're like, I've got nothing for you. This is a waste of your time.
Are you the person when you go and do an escape room that's just in the corner looking at the one round, like the fire extinguisher that's been installed? They're like, there must be a clue on this somewhere. I'll just keep going, and then the voiceover says, leave that alone. Can you not touch that, please? That's a bad idea.
Have you been watching me do escape rooms?
It's my form of ASMR. Laughing at the incompetence.
That's something that I find I can struggle with as well, because when I play video games, especially open world ones, I'm very much a completionist. I want to tick all the boxes before I move on with the main plot. And we just don't have time for that with this.
No, because when we got to the point where it was like, okay, well, here's this one bar guest that we need to deal with, but also we've uncovered the fact that there's a really big operation of people trying to change the whole town into these secure areas and stop people's liberties and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I want to tackle the big problem now.
But we need to accept it's okay for someone else to contribute towards that.
We'll just have to leave that, I guess.
You could see Matt start to panic when we said, right, we need to assemble a task force, we need to go to London, we need to go to their head office, we need to call a dude, and we need to ask for a meeting, and we need to take these guys down. And Matt's like, deal with the dog. Could you just deal with the dog first, guys? Come on.
Although, can you imagine these four characters kind of bundling on a train down to London, trying to go and knock on an office door?
None of us know how to operate the ticket machine, so we wouldn't even get on the bloody train.
I mean, we already had Graham just trying to pretend to be a security guard, and then when he got there, he was like, I'm not really good at talking to people, this is going to go badly, and cue, it went badly.
I mean, extra stages to that, because don't ask me why I know this, because it may have bearings on future things, but Sheridan does not have a train station. Its branch line was shut down in the 60s.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you would have to get to the nearest big town to get on the train.
Well, yeah, we'd stand where we thought it was, because we'd been around for ages. I'm sure there was a train station there in the 1960s. Where's it gone now?
Just standing on an empty platform with bushes growing on the tracks.
Intriguing, though. Tidbits.
Just thought I'd drop that out there.
Yes, I like knowing things.
Shall we transition into the structured Stars and Wishes portion?
Yes, I felt lost in this wilderness of no structure, so can we please?
You wanted a casual chat? God.
I've got a starter award just to kick us off, which is to Graham's bench smash move.
So good.
Yeah.
Partly because I love the mayhem move from the Summon playbook. I love the way it's written and I love its consequences. And I think it was a perfect execution of it, in that it was destructive, cathartic, huge, and also caused almost as much harm as good.
Yeah, I always forget that about
it caused as many problems as it solved.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect way that move should go.
I always forget about the consequences of that. I'm like, I remember the key bit, which is I can pick up stuff and hit things with it, but it is the ramifications of said hitting things, like, it bounces off and kills that boy, and you're like, oh no, but I didn't want to kill the boy's dead. He's dead. He's not coming back.
I have the same kind of mental fog with the banish move, where I'm like, I'll get rid of this thing.
Do you?
Oh no, wait, no, it's somewhere else.
I love it.
It was a combination of the banishment, then into the mayhem, then into Percy's move of getting it on our side. But now it's going to attack random people, and we're just making it worse. Like, if Matt had just sat here for 6 hours narrating a lovely story, then I think somebody else would have defeated the Barghest with far less problems than we did.
I think it's also it was a really interesting consequence of I experimented with giving it more armor than any other monster we've had before.
Yeah, the minute we found out, we were all like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I think in hindsight that's probably too much. I think the book does recommend give it between 1 and 2, and so 3 was probably too much, and I might just bring that down for the official publication of this adventure. But the really interesting consequence was that you were all finding different ways to tackle it rather than hit it in the face.
Yeah, because we were like, if we keep hitting it, it's going to kill us.
Yeah. Will not end well.
No. That leads quite nicely onto my star, which was just to build on what Ellie said earlier, but the fact that we defeated the foe through, at the end, non-violent means, and that we came to a nice big conclusion, happy kumbaya, standing in a circle, and we didn't just hit something, and we didn't go through a war of attrition until it just, you slowly worked down the HP until we killed it.
Yeah.
We came up with a solution that didn't involve just total bloodshed.
First monster we've left alive.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good point.
And it was quite nicely timed because just last week I've listened to the wrap-up of Tourist Trap, and almost as if you planned it, Matt Boothman, I think you and I think it was Helen had a conversation.
Yeah.
You both said, oh, it would be nice if we could do this next time, if we could find a way to end the session without it just, knocking a monster down to 0. And Matt said, yes, I really do wish that we could do that sometime in the future. And I listened to that and I was
To be
like,
honest,
clever man.
I didn't necessarily have that in mind for this one.
Interesting.
I mean, it's sort of always an option for any adventure. You never have to kill the monster. You just have to solve the problem.
We could have just
with
let
death.
the Winter King take over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he would have been a difficult one to solve non-violently. I'm sure you could have found a way.
It would have been a very interesting session for you to open up and say,
But yeah.
Sherrydown, it is minus 30 degrees. Everybody is dead. What do you do?
But what I'm saying is, I didn't design the Barghest as this is an adventure that you should solve without killing it.
I think when you presented it as just being a guard dog
Yes.
and not being a vengeful, relatively intelligent being that wanted to cause harm, and it wasn't about domination, it wasn't about destruction, it wasn't about taking over, it was just about guarding an area, and it had been summoned inadvertently. I think that's when it sort of clicked in my mind. I was like, we're just dealing with a bad boy. We
Yeah.
just need to make sure the dog at the end is...
And it made me think about real life dogs.
Yeah.
Because dogs just behave how they've been trained to behave. And that makes me sad when dogs are naughty, because it just means they've been badly trained.
Yeah.
No dogs are really a bad boy.
No.
No,
This one, it had very bad influences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a household that did 4 damage, so I could get through it eventually. So that was going to be my plan, just to keep hitting it. So I'm quite glad someone else stepped in, because
I think the only ones that could have really hurt it were Graham. You had a couple of 4 harm.
Yeah.
The Hellsword is 4 harm, and you could if you can pick up something big enough, you can do 4 harm with it. And then Gwynned, I think you had 3
I had
harm
to roll
attacks that you
critical.
could have added, do terrible harm to get through. But it would have might have taken a while to chip down.
And I think that would have been less narratively interesting.
oh god, yeah.
I think Ginny and Percy's only options would have been do some magic.
Yeah, well, my magic's not powerful enough. If I'd taken fire as a combat magic, then I can do 4 damage, but then if I roll less than a 10, the fire spreads. So
Right.
I would be adding to the carnage and the
The town
chaos.
has burned down.
And this was another part of my thinking in giving it that much armor, right? Was that it might encourage certain members of the party to find a different role in a big fight. That I can't damage the thing, so what else can I do that's helpful?
Yeah.
And in the end, kind of everybody ended up doing that.
Is there a way to use magic to reduce a monster's armor?
You can use magic to deal 1 harm, ignore armor.
Right.
And big magic, the sky's the
Yeah,
limit,
yeah.
so you could definitely find a big magic that would de-toughen it, I guess.
Shrink it.
Although would that shrink the person inside as well? And then we just have a tiny security guard that we have to take care of.
I mean, that'd be quite funny.
And the
I think Graham would be
pocket.
fascinated. He'd have a pet human.
Oh my god.
Yes, Graham needs to find the Barghest, put someone in it and shrink it. Yeah.
The wrinkle there that I don't think I said kind of explicitly on the show was that just normal physical attacks that get through the Barghest's armor will hurt the person that it's possessing. Anything with the magic or holy tags will not hurt the person. So that's why some attacks hurt the person and some didn't. So
right.
the bench did, but I think there was something else that didn't.
My magic sword.
That's the one.
Yes, magic sword.
Magic tie-clip sword.
Yeah.
Any further stars or wishes?
I've not mentioned them specifically in this segment, but I have mentioned previously, I enjoyed Ginny's use of teleportation. I enjoyed the suffragitsu. I guess I have 2 for Matt, actually, that have not been mentioned. One for rolling with the pressure of doing the Morrigan, because I know you said that, you do find it a little challenging.
I think she's the biggest role-playing challenge that I've had in merely role-players.
Yeah.
Because it's she is mysterious and portentous and gothic, but I also need to give her a motivation that can drive the story for Gwyn and for the story in general. So it's tough, but I'm enjoying the pressure.
Okay, good.
Is it as hard as Errol?
Oh no, I always fully knew what Errol's deal was.
No one else did. I don't think I do.
It's
Still.
easy to play dumb and incompetent.
Yes, okay, I can attest.
And I guess my other one was to you, Matt, for that shock twist ending with the shop, which we had already talked about.
That's definitely up there.
Fully off the cuff.
Really?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Dark, man.
That is a big gold star then.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. What's the opposite of a star? Just out of interest? Can I award one of those to you for taking my shop away?
Not yet. We can fight for
You haven't lost it yet.
Fine.
One of my stars would have to be the banishment, purely because it was something I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then when we realised it hadn't done what we planned, it was just really inside. I was like, that's perfect. That's just so chaotic and not helpful. And now we've got to find a way of going to wherever it is. Oh, we're just chasing this thing around the bloody town.
I really enjoyed that because I'm sitting opposite Alex and Nat, and both of you looked so thrilled about it, and then instantly very not thrilled. And the face drop was just beautiful because I think Josh and I kind of knew as soon as you went for that move, we were like, oh no.
It was almost exactly the I'm a genius. Oh no!
Yeah.
However, if I'd not done it, if we'd not moved it to the green, we wouldn't have been able to do our
No, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it, but in the moment, it was a dick move.
You know what this fight on perfectly neutral ground where we can take it out we want to needs. We need to take the enemy and put it into a heavily populated area full of old people and children.
Well. These are the consequences of my actions.
And preferably it should take a while for us to get there.
Yeah. You just got Ellie frantically pedaling.
We can't all teleport!
That's my star for the carnage it caused.
Absolutely seconded. I'm glad that it meant that we got. It's the first time we've really had the final battle began and then switched arenas, which is very cool. And it meant we got to see a bit more of the town. It gave you that tension of exactly oh shit, how do we get to where it's gone? And it meant that it put a completely different complexion on that final encounter, which I think was brilliant.
Yeah. Just a piece of advice for any hunters that might be playing a game with Nat in the future. Please do take an ability that allows you to teleport or fly, because God knows where the final battle will be, and you need to get there super, super quickly.
Or a vehicle. We do have other people in the Vigil cast who have cars and vans and things. Just nobody in this one.
I'd like to think I've learnt my lesson. I was think twice before using that move again.
Nah.
Please don't. Please don't think twice before banishing. Please, Alex, don't think twice before using mayhem.
I never do.
I don't want either of you to be discouraged from causing maximum drama.
I just don't know how this ended up being more chaotic than Cold Snap. I thought after that was the height of chaos. Now we're in a more familiar
As we've
grounds.
discussed before, you were sort of in your element in Cold Snap, all of you.
Yeah.
And this was a bit more playing into the fish out of water kind of scenario.
We just can't talk to people. That's the big thing. Is there anybody in this entire cast that's super cool? Just out of interest.
Cameron's cool, isn't he?
Cameron's
Briar can.
I'm trying to think of... Briar's very good at talking. It's charm that you need to do.
Charm, sorry.
So Briar can
get people to do what you want. Yeah, Briar's very charming.
Renko's
very charming.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Renko's entire deal. And Mick, I think that's a kind of a mundane thing. I think the mundane always gets lots of charm.
Who'd have thought Vicky and Dave would be the most charming of all of us?
It's nice to play against type, though. It's lovely to go outside your comfort zone.
Don't be mean
both
while
of
they're
them.
not here to defend themselves.
They know we don't mean it.
They don't listen.
Yeah, they could be too busy with Ivor to listen to them.
They're the best of us, so we have to take them down.
I know
British
Dave
way.
doesn't. Dave literally doesn't listen.
No, he hates theatre.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
And Ivor, for context, is their baby.
Yes.
Who does
Listeners
listen?
Will not know that. Who does? Yes.
Not like...
Who listens more than Dave?
But yeah, the way you said it made it sound like it was like their lodger or something.
That's true.
Yeah, Ivor knows that the Vigil theme tune is a banger.
Yeah.
Well done, Alex.
It is. Well done, Alex.
I want to do a star on Josh for using those magic tokens.
Yes, brilliant news.
Just like...
The
Just
prophecy
when
tokens.
It felt quite a lot like Josh was playing them whenever he got sick of something.
Oh no! Likewise, when you could see our faces crestfallen, I could see Josh every time he had to spend one, being like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
It was the bit where he spent them because we couldn't find the right cable.
Oh no! You can't.
He's left the table.
Listen, right? I can't play in a game of infinite fantasy, people flying and Morrigans and people summoning things and, oh, I'm from 1850, I'm from whatever. But Matt sits there and goes, oh, no, sorry, you actually need the correct cable for this. People tune in to listen to chaos and magic and fun, not for an hour and a half of us in fucking Maplins trying to find the correct USB cable.
Look.
Furious!
Graham, the demon accountant, trying to talk to his colleagues is what you're talking about. That was my thinking. That is the high chaos potential. But I take your point that by that point we just needed to find some information.
I think we were just, I think as well, metagaming is like we were so close to having a lunch break or so close to like ending the scene, and then you brought that up and I'm like, no. I'm sorry I'm ruining Matt and Alex's ideas here, but look, I've got a cable. There we are.
And I think any time we get to wind up Josh is always great, in my opinion. The results are often, as we've just heard, quite explosive.
Have you got a wish, Josh? Anything that you wish you could have done or that you wish you might get to do in a future session?
Well, in a future session, I will be carrying around a little bag of all the cables and the cable ties and odds and ends and odds and sods just for this exact.
Just all on a carabiner.
Ginny's apron is expanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in its
absolutely.
scope.
Mary, I want her to have a Mary Poppins bag where she can pull out like a lamp and like everything else from it. So, I feel a lot more calm now. Thank you, everybody.
Spell that demon.
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Absolutely.
It's important to discuss these things at a table and not let them fester and influence your table culture like subtly. You just got to have these out and say them out loud.
It's exactly the reason I took that ability, just so that we could produce something completely random. Not like a mystical signet ring, not like something to help stop the apocalypse, but just a little power cable.
The USB to USB-C cable or whatever it was that was needed.
I don't have wishes for this one so much as I just want to take the opportunity to just tell you some stuff that could have happened.
Oh, yeah.
I now any time that I think the Morrigan has a chance of showing up, I have to think about what would happen if Morrigan Rita repulses the monster again, like she did with the Winter King. So there was the possibility if she decided to interfere in that way, you could have got a very big Barghest with like 5 security guards inside it instead of 1.
like a Megazord.
Going full Pacific Rim.
That was my thinking for that. But I'm glad we didn't go with that because it's like it could get repetitive. It could get Rita Repulsa Power Rangers if every time the Morrigan shows up, she just soups up the monster in some way. So it's nice that she always has that potential. But that's why I'm not framing this as a wish. It's not like I wish I got to do that. I just thought I'd let you know that I had that up my sleeve in case it happened.
Yeah. I think that's kind of, again, it's not a wish per se, but I guess a statement that I would be interested to see what would happen if things were pushed a bit darker with that relationship. However, I'm very wary of, given the nature of this, the recorded nature of it, the fact that we've got to get it all done in one day. I don't want a protagonist. like, because there's so many other interesting stories going on as well. And I also don't want to necessarily undermine the overall tone of everything, because we have that kind of Cornetto trilogy vibe of, we have some darker stuff, but there's also a lot of comedy, whereas I realised that this could go properly dark. And I personally am down for that, but also don't want to bring everyone down with me.
I think we could
I
probably
guess.
pull it off if you've got the Morrigan wanting very dark things and all of the player characters just completely undermining her goth tone. I think we could probably parlay it into the kind of tone that we're after. It'd be interesting to something for me to think about is kind of ways to make the Morrigan and her demands fit that tone more. And I think we are sort of building towards that with the conversations that Gwyn and the Morrigan had this time, and the doubt and the split we're starting to see in the Morrigan's aspects. That, you know, there's kind of potential for comedy or something a bit more lighthearted in Morrigan slightly being at war with herself.
Yeah.
Also, it adds to the comedy and the mundanity of the Cornetto trilogy genre if you've just had this big emotional moment and then we go straight into Graham and a branch of Maplins looking for a camera cable.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It helps with the contrast.
And I do try and keep, like, I appreciate, we said at the end, like, Gwyn she can be very mopey emo, but I do try and keep her with that stupid sense of humour as well. To keep it balanced.
There's quite a few mopey emo characters, hunters in this game.
I think the town setting kind of encourages that personality, for sure. Like it's a sort of slightly run-down feeling Middle England, just nothing town, isn't it?
It's definitely established as the kind of town that young people find it difficult to escape.
Yes. I think Ellen's character is a good kind of encapsulation of the culture of the town.
Yeah. As someone who grew up in a provincial town, I totally associate with the feeling of being miserable, like you can't get out.
It's a lot of, like, Joey and friends staring at the rain window.
Yeah, I think exactly like Josh said, like it's that balance of a super dark moment or scene then followed by something absurd that keeps the tone right. It's not necessarily that we need to avoid one or the other. It's that the two extremes follow one another, and that works.
It's quite a lot of pressure on your head, Nat, though, to deliver the big emotional moments within the game.
I've never done that before in my life.
Spotlight on Nat.
But that's definitely a star I want to award, because we do so much silly stuff, and then both you and Matt go into those like serious Morrigan bits, and you just like I'm kind of captivated by it every time, and it feels very real and very dramatic. And very genuine, and then I get confronted with like the estate agent's actually that demon, and I just feel like, oh, Percy runs away, which, you know, while is a valid character choice, was also very much Ellie going, nah, don't know.
Ellie's too tired for this, Matt. Okay, she runs away.
I think that was absolutely the right choice in that scene. We didn't at that point in the recording session, we did not want to get into a big Percy versus demon conversation.
No.
And deep into that backstory. I think, the running away, like you say, super valid character choice, and I think it worked dramatically to make it a cliffhanger. If that had been the first scene in a it would have been a big cop out. It would be a different story.
Well, Ellie, do you actually want to be here?
Ellie bravely runs away.
I realise I think one of my wishes from the last game I played might have been semi-solved, because I remember finishing Cold Snap and thinking, that was brilliant, I had such a good time. I wish I'd gone into the town more. I wish I'd gone and met more people, because it felt sort of quite D&D, out in the woods and fighting, and then we bring our swords and we go and hack and slash. And I was like, we didn't really get to meet anybody. We didn't go into Sherrydown itself.
That was a wish, I believe, for you and Nat from Cold Snap, and that's, I tried to accommodate that in this one.
Yeah,
I realised the wish from Cold Snap that we didn't accommodate is let's meet the witches in the woods. We still didn't meet them.
No.
They're still lurking in the wings, waiting for their big entrance.
Maybe the Vargheist's gone to join them.
Maybe it could guard their eco home.
But I bet they're not too fond of big wizard energy either, so...
Might be able to get them on side.
Yeah.
Hey.
Is it the opposite of big dick energy?
It's like big dick energy, but where I think big dick energy is kind of positive.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So is it like the opposite?
Yeah.
It's like
Small dick energy.
It's
maybe estate agent.
Big
energy.
knobhead energy.
Yeah. Sorry to all estate agents. There's some more people we isolated. There we go.
We got so far through this backstage.
I know.
Not upsetting anybody.
Upsetting anyone. Never mind.
Do you know who else I hate? Capricorns. Screw all those guys. Not interested. If you're a Capricorn, unsubscribe, please.
That's unnecessary. I think the only wish I had was purely selfish. I completely forgot about my my Why So Serious which is capping off things with an appropriate stupid one-liner.
You did come close to it several times.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you did. I think I did
you
one.
did
kind of. You mentioned that you'd activated it, but I don't think we remembered to then apply the bonus.
It was the he shouldn't have been sleeping on the job line when you knock somebody unconscious.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. So I think I need to pay attention more to that and see how bad Graham's puns can be.
We had tokens on the table for tracking that exact thing.
I know.
We did have a few moments as well because Gwyn was just not getting Graham's puns. So you did do it.
Okay, good. Okay, well that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my memory right there.
Also, I feel like bonuses should have happened for your commitment to Jackie Beaver.
Yes, every time. Got it in there. Come on, Jackie.
The beef.
The beef.
I feel like on that, the one thing that I think was a missed opportunity for me, it was kind of a wish, was the Gwyn gets a coffee order moment. I feel like, we spoke about this on the way home, was more of it was a missed opportunity for more Briar has told her human stuff wrong.
Yeah.
But
what's Briar told you goes in a normal coffee order.
Yeah.
What's a normal coffee to order?
Or the alternative is the human coffee just doesn't affect her because she has had Fey potions, right? So it needs to be like extra double strength espresso with 10 sugars to actually even get close. Yeah.
Good grief.
I've realised that although we had like lots of jokes about our lack of technology knowledge, the move I have, which is to, I think I get experience whenever
you're bamboozled by
whenever it stops stuff happening.
It's whenever it actually hinders the mystery.
Whenever your battling with the modern world gets in the way of monster hunting. And I didn't push that at any point because I sort of wasn't really sure how badly I had to mess things up for everyone by using it.
Yeah, I guess we have to kind of calibrate on that. I think it does have to be a genuine problem.
So it'd have to be something like me thinking that in order to get the images off of the body cam, I had to smash it open.
Something like that, or like missing a message and not being in a place that you're needed.
Right.
Would probably qualify. Like it doesn't have to be apocalyptically like it causes it doesn't have to lead to the civilians dying or anything like that. But it definitely has to be like a setback and a hindrance and an annoyance to the rest of the hunters.
It's a tricky one for you now, though, given that Percy has been in the modern world for a little while.
I know.
And the way that you're playing her is that she is an intelligent, technically capable person.
Yeah.
So
her background is as an engineer.
Yeah.
So it would have to be things that she wouldn't even have because technology stuff she will probably have deliberately read up on and learned. But maybe there's social stuff that she wouldn't even have thought.
Maybe there's some pop culture references she might not have got. Maybe it's a Captain America type thing where she has to catch up.
Because like you said, Percy is smart. So if Percy knows that there's a deficiency that could cause problems, she would probably try to remedy that. So it would have to be blind spots almost.
I think I need to do some thinking about what those might be because I've just been going for the obvious thing, which is technology, and actually that doesn't really fit with the character. Yeah. So there's definitely some other things that I think could be.
I guess also steering delicately around the line of Victorian colonialist attitudes as well.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Can't you just invade?
Have you got a flag?
We had a little bit of that in playtime, didn't we? Of can't you just shut the school down?
Yeah. I was more comfortable doing the poor people, rich people thing than colonialism.
Yeah.
Yeah, Percy's noble, so classism is definitely a thing she might struggle with.
Yeah. Great. I'll start a fun list of ways in which Percy can be offensive.
I just had an image of Percy coming together with Jess and being like, well, in my day, when people were errant and ill-behaved, we just got the cane out.
Every time you smack Jess with a cane, that's when you hit the beat.
I would say things like, "Now clean that muck off your face."
Do not talk back to me, young lady.
You're getting hysterical. Have this cocaine.
I know we've moved on to wishes, but I just remembered I have another star, which is Alex. Thank you for using some luck this time.
Yes.
'Cause I know that you were a little reluctant to start bringing the apocalypse closer.
Reluctant. Hey.
But I'm glad you've embraced your role as the harbinger of the apocalypse and are starting to bring it closer.
Parfait. I'm looking forward to using more of it now. I think that's the problem. There's a fine line between sort of using it every so often and just absolutely spamming it and then bringing the apocalypse far too quickly.
And just to get people speculating, Alex and I do know what form the apocalypse takes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
But nobody else does.
Secrets, the secrets they keep.
So yes, I fully know the significance of Graham's true name.
As do I. Which is remarkable, considering I, as an individual in real life, are also quite forgetful.
What am I meant to be doing?
So yeah, that's something to look forward to in future seasons.
The apocalypse.
Yeah.
Graham, bringing you closer to the apocalypse.
Star across the board for you, Matt, for running it and for introducing so many characters and for dealing with all of our characters that we brought in and all of the carnage that we had brought.
We got a lot of factions and things now. I feel like now any backstory questions, relationship questions that create a faction, I feel like the policy from now on has to be, that's a faction that already exists, let's not create a new one.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So many
No more guilds, no more gangs, no more anybody.
Yeah, it's good. It gives me lots of stuff to work with for when people spend luck and stuff interferes, for thinking about what could be the cause of things, for when that situation happens that sometimes happens when somebody decides to really investigate, what is the root cause of this? Who has deliberately done this? And, I don't have something in my mind for that. It's good to have a grab bag of baddies. To be like, it was them.
Whose fault is it now? Let's spin the lot, okay?
It's this bag of what's-its.
Not the what's-its.
We are getting to the point where the if we ever have to print off the show Bible, it's going to be environmentally unethical.
Yes.
Because it's just getting longer and longer.
Yes, it's going to have to be a PDF.
We've been talking about a wiki or possibly a world anvil.
Yeah, 100%. If anybody out there wants to start a fan-made Wikipedia, then please feel free, unless you are a Capricorn. In which case, get out.
Please unsubscribe.
I've got my bit now, okay? I'm just going to stick to it.
Oh, dear Lord.
On that note, shall we wrap up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Thank you all very much for playing,
Thank you, Matt.
for joining
Thank
for this
you,
season. And I very much look forward to seeing the ongoing adventures of all of your characters.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yay. Well done, everybody.
This has been Vigil, a main house production from Merely Roleplayers. It stars Natalie Winter as Gwynned, Alexander Pankhurst as Graham, Josh Yard as Ginny Greenteeth, and Ellie Pitkin as Persephone Byron. Sound design for this production is by Natalie Winter, and the theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst. I'm Matt Boothman, and I play the supporting cast, as well as editing and producing the episode. We were playing Monster of the Week, a role-playing game by Michael Sands, published by Evil Hat Productions. You can find Monster of the Week at genericgames.co.nz. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on.